All right, welcome back to another episode of NB3 Sports Talk. This is episode 9. Um, we're at the end of July and sports is returning, so we have a lot to talk about in the upcoming weeks. We have familiar faces here. We have Neil and my man Smoot. We're going to be talking about a couple topics today. But first, I just wanted to ask, how's everybody doing? How's everybody's week?
Pretty good, man. No complaints. One day at a time. How about yourself?
Yep.
Man, it's been chill. Just like you said, just moving one day at a time. Just trying to stay active in this quarantine state that we're in.
I'm
But
glad we got.
Yeah.
I'm glad we got some
yeah,
sports back, though.
yeah, we got some
Exactly. That's
sports
what I
back, so we're
said.
definitely gonna have a lot to talk about next
Basketball
week.
back. Whew.
Next week we'll definitely talk about the games prior to the episode that we record. But this week I just wanted to touch on a topic that has been in the news for like the past 2 weeks. Um, and we're from the DMV area, very close to Washington, D.C., and we have known the Washington football team to be the Washington Redskins since, what was it, 1930s or, something like that?
1933, I think.
Yeah, see,
Yeah.
that's a long time. So we grew up knowing them as the Washington Redskins. Now we know them, at least this year, they made a decision to move forward with the Washington football team. But for a while, since we grew up in the DMV area, especially we know about, or we've heard about rumblings of a corrupt organization being the Redskins or the Washington football team, and Dan Snyder, and, wanting a lot of people wanting him to sell that team. But it got brought to light how bad it was. I believe it was from a ex-Washington cheerleader. Allegations going all the way up to gambling and, I read an article that it was like Dan Snyder said, do a cartwheel, you better do a cartwheel. like it was that type of environment, bro. It's got brought to light, in the midst of the Epstein case and everything. They kind of drew connections to Dan Snyder and all these powerful people to the Epstein case. But Washington Redskins finally got their dirt shown in the light. Just wanted to start by asking, what are you guys' thoughts on the allegations that were brought against Jay Gruden, that were brought against Dan Snyder and just the higher ups within that company?
Man, well, when I first heard the news, I was like, this is the first time we're hearing about this. Like for years we've been hearing about scandals, Bounty Gate. As a Vikings fan, that one sticks out to me the most.
Right.
All these organizations have scandals in the dark. Even with the Patriots, have a scandal come out every 2 years. Bounty Gate, not Bounty Gate, Deflate Gate, and everything else. But with this, I'm honestly surprised it took this long for it to come out. With Jay Gruden, with Swearinger, I thought it was gonna come out way back when he got into it. We've heard rumblings about. Remember Jay Gruden when he got fired? He was at the bar.
Yeah.
He was drinking. It's not a surprise to us. We've been calling for Dan Snyder's head for years. Bruce Allen too. Finally Bruce Allen got out of there, but now we're trying to get Dan Snyder, and now all these allegations are coming out. Football players are speaking out. They don't like the front office now. Where was all this before? This
Right.
has been going on for years. So just to see Dan Snyder, well, actually, you gotta think about it. In all those reports, they were saying like it wasn't Dan Snyder and Bruce Allen at first. And then as more people started to get into it, then it came out Dan Snyder was in it. Then it came out the higher ups were in it. So I think they're trying to do a little hush hush on the down low and keep everything under wraps. Pretty much sweep everything under the rug. We're gonna come out with a new name. We're gonna try and talk about this because we have division about the new name. We can't talk about the scandal at the time. And then they're trying to do investigations within the organization as well without the NFL's help. So that's a red flag to me too. They're going to pay their own people to investigate. You're not going to bring everything to light, of course. That's all I got.
Yeah, as far as the Redskin goes, I'm not like as familiar as far as like what happened. I just know that the Redskins have been like not irrelevant, but like an underachieving franchise, and it just all this stuff going on doesn't make them look any better. But the one positive thing going forward is the new deciding to go with a new name or just a new look. I guess this can be like a turn of the table type thing. And I think the next thing, because I've seen a lot of players from the Redskins actually post like a new beginning, change.
Yeah.
RP Redskins. I think it's all Dwayne Haskins do it.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's time for a change, and it might be positive. And I think going forward, they need to do something with Dan Snyder to really, up the scale as far as change for that franchise, because it starts at the top and then goes to the bottom.
Yeah.
So once Dan Snyder, I guess, sells the team out of the picture, I think the Redskins will be a formidable, respectable franchise. They don't have to win, but just like at least be respectable, because right now they're just like a laughing stock. Like I just saw LeBron on Twitter laughing at him the other day. I'm like,
Yeah.
you got LeBron saying stuff. I'm like, that's crazy.
Yeah.
That just shows you like this is a slap in the face organization right now. Just like I don't know how they recover from that, but good thing they at least they moving forward with the name. I never thought that they would change it based on what I've heard Dan Snyder say, but I guess he got somebody got some pull and they told him that it's either this or that. It was an ultimatum. So
I think it was the FedEx deal. When
FedEx,
FedEx pulled out,
When
Stadium.
FedEx dropped them, I think that was the big one. That was a big.
So they're not called
that's your
FedEx
big
Field
fish.
anymore?
Well, they say either drop the name or we're dropping the sponsorship.
Yeah.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
And, that's big fish right there.
But that front office has been like that for years. RG3, you saw what happened with Trent Williams. He had cancer. They told him he didn't have cancer. Like that front office has always been like that. Joe Gibbs, and I can't really say that much about Joe Gibbs because I respect him as a coach, but stuff was going on then. Stuff was going on with Mike Shanahan, all the players, and that front office been like that for years. So this name change is a start.
Yeah, man. One thing I just want to say that is probably the biggest problem and probably the biggest denominator in all of this is that the Redskins are worth a bunch of money. Even though, like Neil said, they've been an underachieving franchise. They've been really, below 500 for like the past decade or for long as we know and we lived. They had a couple successful years, but they're worth too much. So trying to get a man to sell that team that's bringing in probably the third most money in the NFL in terms of teams. It's going to be hard, but with everything in this time going on, with the movements going on, it was time for the name change. Like Dan Snyder was reported, saying that he would never change the name, but it came to a time where we're coming in a little bit more sensitive to the racial, names that were placed back in the day that still hold today. So the Redskins is offensive. We didn't think about it, as kids, or a lot of people probably didn't even think about it as offensive.
Yeah,
but it is offensive to some people, and it is offensive to a lot of people, not just some, to have it enough to force a name change upon them. So, and like you guys said, just leadership. Bruce Allen, he got out of there quick. He didn't want to go, but he's probably looking back at it like, I'm glad, I got out right now. But I think it's still going to catch up to him because he's still involved. Because, like you said, it goes back to the Joe Gibbs era and before the Shanahans and everything with the front office going on. And honestly, one thing that came to my mind when I heard these reports is that it makes sense. Because when you really think about the Redskins or the Washington football team organization and their front office and the deals that they've made in free agency, not recently, but, within the 2000s, when they signed Albert Hainsworth for $100 million. They made a couple bad deals. They let a couple good players go. Kirk Cousins. They ruined RG3. So, they draft good players. They're at the top of the draft every year.
Wait, let's go to that. Who was the GM they just fired?
Shoot, I don't even know the
GM they just fired. I mean, they threw him under the bus too. Said he was drinking and
same thing with Jay Gruden.
I think he probably had the best draft they ever had that year.
Who did he draft?
He drafted, I think that was the Daron Payne year where they had him and they had another pick, like Suat Robbins or somebody else. But he had a heck of a draft, and then they fired him that offseason. said he was drinking.
It's a whole bunch of stuff. I think it's a lot of, it's kind of like a police academy. I like to think about it because they have a lot of in-house secrets or in-house policies and stuff that, if you were to get a little bit too nosy or, talk a little bit too much, they'll have people show up at your door, or, you show up missing or you just lost your job, It's one or the other. And all of those are pretty much death sentence, especially within the NFL. You lose your job, and they could put anything on that report, and it could be just like, oh, no front office will get you. But I'm glad that, change is starting to happen. It looks like the players are really invested. The Washington players are really invested in changing. They went out and got Ron Rivera, so that is good. I think that's going to change them a lot because I think Ron Rivera is the general manager, if I'm not mistaken, as well. They gave him general manager permission. So I think, with him coming in from a winning culture and he's a non-nonsense type of coach as well, that's going to be one part of that change. And it's good that the players are really invested in change within the organization as well. And like Neil said, we just have to find a way to have Dan Snyder release, the ownership from the Washington football team. And that's going to be very hard to do. They had threats from the three minorities to, release the team and everything. And, but I still think Dan Snyder would not have gave up the team. It's going to take him to be facing some, court time or some legal things for him to really release that team. But until then, I like the change that's really inspired in the coaches and the players within the Washington football team organization.
Mad respect to Ron Rivera because I think he's bringing a full different culture to this team too.
Oh, their defense is about to be nicer too. Cause they, like you said, going back to the Deron Payne drafts, like their past couple drafts have been good. They got Jonathan Allen as well. So they got
Chase
Young,
they got
Landon Collins,
right? So
Matt
like, if you can get
Ioannidis,
Ron,
they're not a bad team. They just run. They're just horribly ranked.
I just think that cursed. Like a lot of people like to say organizations are cursed. Like I think when the toxicity in the upper office is going on, like you're not going to be successful down low because all of that is a shadow and an underlying, factor in this all. And we may not know. We didn't know it for years until now. But the players and the organization knows that, and they have to go out there and still perform every Sunday at that.
Yeah. The only way to overshadow bad leadership is if the team is amazing or they got great players. So it's a bad combination. They have bad front office and they haven't had success. Like they had like a Tom Brady or somebody to overshadow it. We wouldn't even care because they're winning at least. But they haven't been successful. So it's kind of hard to be like,
Yeah, and the success part, that makes a lot of sense. Because I read an article a couple weeks ago. Peyton Manning said he was actually about to go play for Shanahan and the Redskins in his free agency when he got released from the Colts. But something within that process didn't go right. And now it kind of all makes sense, why a lot of free agents don't want to go to Washington unless that's their biggest contract. Washington's known to do that, give you like one of the biggest contracts, give you no other option, but now you stuck there. I.e. Josh Norman, they gave him the highest contract, and I was like, why would you come to Washington? Like,
don't remind me.
But
they just did that with Landon Collins.
Yeah, they're going to keep doing it because you can't turn down money, and at the same time you're getting talent. Now you get Ron Rivera, so hopefully they're able to put it together. But it's the Redskins still, or the Washington football team. So
right, Washington football team. Now what do you think they're gonna do with that? What do you think they're gonna do with that?
What, the name?
Yeah, you think they're gonna you think the front office gonna vote? You think they're gonna do like a fan or a team?
Man, Dan Snyder's gonna pick the name. Dan Snyder's gonna pick the name. It don't matter if they put up a poll. It don't matter if the fans vote or office vote.
Did you see the dude in Alexandria that bought all the trademarks for the name?
Bruh, that was so smart. I'm so mad at myself, bro. I'm so mad.
So smart.
Man, so you want these trademarks
for years. I was talking about the for years. I was like, you know what? Washington going to change their name one year, and it's going to be the Sentinels. And now I'm hearing it's going to come out, and they might change it. I was like, dog, I could have definitely trademarked that one.
Well, what name do you think they should go with after this?
I like Red Wolves.
Red Wolves?
I like the Red Wolves. Red Wolves are tough. I heard Warriors is cool, but
Warriors cool.
Well, Yeah,
Red tails.
Washington Warriors.
I like the Warriors. I like also just like red tails or red like wolves, like something that still has red in it. You know,
Mm-hmm.
I don't
Yeah,
know,
you gotta
kind of
keep that
go
theme
with the
going.
theme. Yeah,
Yeah.
I like either or, but I think ultimately because Dan Snyder bought the trademark for the Washington Warriors back, you know, what was it back in the '80s or something. I think that they'll eventually go with the Washington Warriors, and I think that fits as well. You know, it's not
Yeah.
nothing too crazy, and they're able to keep their themes with,
Mm-hmm.
the bow and arrow and all that stuff. So we'll see. We'll see how it goes with their name, and
I mean,
I'm pretty sure
the
a lot of
logo,
secrets will be revealed.
the logo looks pretty cool. It just got the little nice W on the side with the maroon
Yeah.
color.
That's
Not
that's
bad.
fine with
It's not.
me.
That's why I said
That's
that.
fine.
That's why I said
That's cool.
it's not gonna be bad with the Warriors because they'll just keep the W and just do
Yeah,
something
keep
more
the
creative
W.
with it.
Mm-hmm.
I like it
Yeah.
though. I like the new colorways. I think every team is getting a new jersey except NFC East teams, and I think they was the first ones to get a jersey. I think the Giants got the all whites a couple years ago. That was the new
Mm.
jersey.
Shoot, we only got 2 jerseys.
Man, that y'all need a gold one. That'd be
I wish
tough.
we had an all
Yeah,
black one. I wish we had
that'd
an
be
all
tough.
gold one.
A
Yeah,
gold
that'd
with
be
like some
all
purple.
gold.
Yeah,
The
that jersey
all
would be
purple
tough.
one, we only wore the
Y'all
all
never did
purple for
black.
that
Y'all
playoff
never
game.
did black and purple.
No, never.
But I swear y'all
Y'all should.
did black one year.
I
No,
swear. I
never.
don't know. I think that was the Ravens. Cause y'all. I don't know.
Yeah, like
I think it was the Ravens, but
you might
y'all
be
should
thinking
get
about
black.
the scrimmage jerseys from training camp.
Might be,
Yeah.
might be. All right. So Washington, we're gonna keep our eye on them. Speaking of football, if we didn't have the coronavirus going on right now, football would have definitely been more engaged a lot earlier in the summer. But we just came to, well, not we, but the NFL and the NFLPA came to a conclusion today on an agreement on policies moving forward, safety protocols to get teams back in their facilities and start these training camps on time. So just wanted to get your thoughts about why it took so long. You think maybe uh, your thoughts on why it took so long for the NFLPA and the NFL to come to an agreement on their safety protocols moving forward?
Honestly, I just feel as if the NFL needs to go. I don't know I don't know how the process is for the season. Are they going to do like travel like to each stadium, or are they like going to stay in one area? Because I think they should stay in one area.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
As far as like,
I think the initial plan is for them to travel, but they're not going to be staying in the cities that they travel in, which is going to get difficult because like if you're the Seahawks playing in New York, you got to fly there that day, play a game, and then fly back afterwards. I think that's the plan moving forward right now. I think they're going to do daily testing throughout training camp
Mm-hmm.
and everything. But
I,
yeah, I think that's the
I
plan.
think they should use. I think they should use baseball and basketball, see how they do it, and then
Yeah,
and then
gauge how it
you,
is.
you how they do it. Because
That's the
right now,
common
baseball and
sense.
basketball looks good. So it's just like
That's true.
you gotta be a copycat to be successful. So I think they should go with the NBA and the MLB route. And they talk about bringing fans in and then saying you gotta wear a mask and all that, and you got like 25% capacity. It's like, what's the point
What's
of
the
going?
point?
Like, what's
Yeah,
the point of going? I'm not paying that much money to go to the game. I got a mask. Like I
But you know
can't
what?
scream or
Somebody
nothing.
is. Somebody is. If
I know,
somebody's
I
gonna
know,
go and not
I
wear their
know.
mask,
that's like
Of course, you got crazy one that's gonna go, but I'm like, I want the full experience. I don't want to be held. That's with anything going on with coronavirus. I don't feel as if
right?
like you should pay for halfway for anything because like there's no point.
yeah,
But as
that's
far
like
as
the Six
far as
Flags. Six
oh yeah,
Flags
that's
got their
yeah.
rides all shut down, but you can still go there for what?
For what? Like, yeah,
You
that's like.
Right.
I
know,
mean, that's not just Six Flags. It's like a lot of amusement parks
like
and resorts like that.
that's how I feel about the fans and it being 25 people 25% of attendance. Like you going for what? For them to hear your 3 cheers all the way in section
Right.
4B,
Right. Not gonna
they're
mean
not
anything.
you're not stopping, you're not rattling no quarterback, So with this, with the decision that came out today, I think it was something in the language, probably some money issues. Hey, we want to give the players this much percentage. The NFLPA, they probably had the hardest job out of the whole NFL because a lot of the time, like they do not get what they want for the players. You know,
And it's part of the time
it's always a fight.
it's the players' fault too. Like they
Yeah,
don't
half the time it's
participate
the
in
players' fault.
voting and anything.
Exactly. Like all the stuff that they've been fighting for, some players don't even know about it. You know, a lot of people try to get players to look at the NFLPA and look at them and say these people can help you, but they're just taking advice from their teammates at the time. So with the language today, I think they were just working on the money. You know, hey, we want to give the players this much of a percentage if they get COVID. You know, game checks won't be forfeited. You know, guaranteed money. How's that going to work out? The rookies, if they get COVID, is that going to go for their game checks? Because a rookie misses a game as opposed to Tom Brady missing the game. Tom Brady doesn't care. That rookie missing out on, you know, millions of dollars.
Money in it. Yeah.
Right.
Exactly. Like that's your stats going on the line. That's that incentive bonus that they try to give you. Look at Todd Gurley. Todd Gurley was like, I'm not even going to play. His whole deal is based off incentive. That's smart for somebody like him because
Yeah.
why would I play if y'all can't give me the guarantee that I'm still going to get paid? You know, he got whole arthritis in his knee. His surgery probably as much as a game check. You know, so you can't miss out on those. I think that's what NFLPA was just doing. So thank God they came with their conclusion today. Hopefully, there's no underlying themes under that where the owners get paid because somebody misses a game or something like that. Hopefully, they don't try to get over on the players, which they always try to do. But I'm sure
Oh, they are.
somewhere down the line we're going to be talking about this again. How the NFLPA, and the NFL didn't come to a good conclusion, pretty much.
Let me just start by saying that it would be common sense for the NFL to, for once, follow the model of a successful league, and that successful league would be the National Basketball Association. I think in any era, any time, the NBA has been the leader in terms of uh, what sport is going to make the right decisions for their players, for their coaches, for their fans, and they've always set a good example and a good model when it comes to crisis management. But the NFL is an entity of itself, so they like to they have the power to make their own jurisdictions. And I think the NFL has too much power, being those 32 owners, because we all know Roger Goodell doesn't have pretty much, all the power. It's like the White
Mm-hmm.
House, you can have the president, but that everybody else within that office is going to really basically run the country. So I think for once the NFL should follow somebody else's model, but they're not, because for one, the NFL has been proven to, like you said, undercut their players, and they're money oriented. That's why they said it's really up to the discretion. The NFL left it up to the owners' discretion of if they want to have fans or how much fans, and the CDC gave them permission as well. We already had Philly come out and say they're not having any fans no matter what, and you have some teams that are like, I think Jacksonville was like 25%, but I think why would you want 25, like you guys said, why would you want a 25% attendance when you guys can just be the safe route and have no fans in the stadium, social distance between practices, and have that real power to have the players to stay and put. Like Neil suggested, a bubble. I like the idea of having a bubble, but
have all the teams in one area.
NFL teams have a lot more players than NBA teams. NBA teams carry what 15 players at most, and NFL teams carry 53 players. So getting 53 players per team at minimum, on top of staff in one place, I don't think would be possible unless you rent out an island or something. Like build a football field in the middle of the island. But I think NFL should just shut up for once and kind of just follow the model of a successful league. And like they have players in there. The NBA made sure that they had enough time to have players in there tested, make sure that they can get practice time, and also have enough time away from society as well.
Yeah, what's the NFL's COVID policy like? Are they like testing?
I was about to say.
Never came out with it.
Not only for the players, but for the fans. Like, will if I could buy a ticket to a Jacksonville game and I get COVID there, what happens after that? Like, am I just on my own? Do I already know the risk? Am I just
Well,
finding it normal?
the NFL is gonna be like, it's at your own risk. If you come during the pandemic,
Oh
they
my
don't really
God.
care, man. They don't care.
I,
But my
hey,
main concern is like the staff. It's not necessarily the players
exactly.
because the players are going to want to play because they want to
Mhm.
play. They want the money for, first and foremost, but they just have the love and the passion for the sports to go out there and play football.
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
we who is it? I got an announcement. One team is entering a 2-week college team is entering a 2-week quarantine because one of their staff members tested positive for it.
Yeah.
So I think it was like Michigan or somebody. But you know, that's my main concern because it was basketball member assistants were getting COVID, and that was the main concern back in March and
Mhm.
April and all that stuff. And when they started reopening facilities before they went down to Orlando, there was a lot of staff infections. So then that's my main concern with football because there's a lot more coaches than it is in basketball, and there's a lot more position players, like position coaches. You got linebacker coach,
Mhm.
DB coach, D-line coach. You got a lot of coaches within a small
I,
area.
I do like the fact that there's no preseason though, because I think it's pointless. It's more of a risk if you have preseason games right now. The more
Yeah.
games, risk. So I think I know they're not. I think they're gonna really like update their rosters though. Like it's gonna be more than
Yeah,
53.
you can carry more than
Mhm.
53. I think it's an 80-man roster. It said right here,
Yeah,
carry an 80-man roster, and have like a split squad set up and everything. But man,
that
Wait,
benefits
this whole
that
season is
benefits the
80.
rookies.
This whole season is 80 man.
yeah,
I mean, yeah, because they don't. I don't know if they're
yeah,
doing
they want to
cuts or
have you
not,
have.
but
Yeah, I don't know, but it's like I think you can
Sheesh.
carry a 53 into game day, but you can carry an 80. Uh,
oh
you
yeah,
know,
because
Shoot,
you
I
gotta
might
have
go try
backup.
out for
You gotta have backups just in case
I might
for
go try
Corona.
out for the Washington football team.
but
Like,
man,
get on.
man,
See, I'm all
preseason.
season.
Talking about preseason and losing preseason, I think like I agree with Neil that it was kind of a waste of time. I think the amount of games it was, I always thought it should be just 2 preseason games because
Yeah, four
that's
is too much.
Yeah.
really what you need. But if you're an undrafted rookie, if you're a rookie, sixth, seventh, fifth round, trying to make the roster, now you don't get
Mhm.
the opportunity, to go out
Yeah.
there and showcase because you're not gonna get playing time throughout the year. And
Nope.
the only time you got to show it is probably practice squad or
Or somebody
practice,
get hurt. Or
right,
somebody get hurt.
and that's not a good time to really showcase what you got. So it's really going to be tough on the players, a lot this year with the conditions that we're in, getting back in football shape, for building that rapport, and then also worrying about being safe during the pandemic as well. It's going to be a mental game like it is down in Orlando for those players, and I think it's definitely going to get tough down in Orlando once it gets to like September, October, and you've been in there about 2 months. You're tired of seeing the same dudes, the same meals, the same bill, the same, everything. They're gonna get real
Yeah.
mentally challenged. But I think it's mentally challenging for all athletes, and I think it's gonna be tough for NFL rookies and players trying to make the team and prove themselves as well.
I think of all the major sports, I think NFL is going to be the toughest though. Toughest
Yeah.
adjustment.
A full contact sport.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's a full contact.
it's gonna be the toughest just because of the situations, everything. Like it's not looking too good. They gonna have a season regardless. It's gonna be so different.
Yeah.
It's gonna be
Everything's gonna
different.
be
After two
different.
weeks.
I'm accepting like life is gonna be different after this COVID. We probably won't get back to normal until we're like 30.
Yeah.
Until everything is calmed down and we
Yeah,
can
Yeah.
they said not gonna be normal till like 2022. Like everything's back to normal. That's crazy when you think about it.
Hey, as
man,
long as
hopefully the
everybody
players
stay
stay
indoors
safe.
and wear masks. Yep.
Right. Hopefully everybody stays safe, but the players stay safe going out there for training camps and practices and everything. And the
Mhm.
coaches and everybody, their family. These players have families that may have, that are at high risk for the virus and everything. So that's a concern as well. Down in the NBA bubble. So hopefully,
That's another thing I worry about. Though. You gotta trust the players to do their part. That's why the bubble is so good because you can actually like control where everybody's doing.
Yeah.
and you can't even get NFL
You got
players
these
to
little
act right.
53 men. You don't
Right.
know how they what they doing. So it's like you gotta monitor that. So that's why I like the bubble situations. Like you can literally
Mhm.
see. You know what I'm saying? It's not
Right, they
like
caught
jail or
him.
anything.
They caught what's his name as soon as he got that food.
Oh yeah,
In
yeah,
quarantine
Yeah, the
for
Rashawn
dude from
14
Holmes.
days.
the dude from the Kings.
Yeah,
I mean, who's he?
but hey, but
What?
that hey,
Okay.
but that goes to show you that works though. Like they saw him
Right.
get his food, put him in quarantine 14 days. Now he don't quarantine. I mean, he don't infect
I,
anybody else.
Right.
I recommend y'all watch JaVale McGee's vlog on YouTube about the bubble. It's so like it literally shows you what they go through. They gotta put
Yeah, watch it.
they gotta put their laundry outside the door. They
Oh
got
yeah, I definitely
breakfast
gotta
time.
watch that. Joke.
Like it's lit. It's cool to like see what they go through as far as like COVID and stuff.
He didn't show the
And
food.
hopefully everybody just stays safe. It's looking good with the scrimmages. I'm glad basketball is back. Just some type of sports are back. Baseball's returning as well. So hopefully,
Yeah.
within every sport, everybody's able to stay safe while also bringing some type of entertainment to this time that we're going through as well.
Yeah, bro. Cause I'm tired of Netflix.
Yeah, man.
Yeah,
I'm
bro.
tired of
Hey,
Netflix.
look what I
Hulu.
had to cop the other day. Hold up.
I'm just tired of Netflix, bro.
Your boy had to cop the old NCAA.
Bruh, again.
I had to cop it.
They need a new
But
one, but
they need to bring it. They need to bring it back. Outside
they
of
do.
position right now.
They need yeah. Put Trevor Lawrence in the front.
That's what I'm saying. You could have had Lamar, Trevor, Manziel for all the years they missed. Don't make it like
they get
Madden,
that back,
though.
man. Man, yeah, I was about to say Madden just needs to go ahead and let 2K get that. Because if 2K gets Madden, that's going to be lit. If it's like 2K, oh my gosh. Like, you get a My Team on Madden or something like that.
I like the old 2K, 2K5.
Right.
Well, that was one with T.O. in the front, right?
Yeah.
I was on with T.O.
Yeah, that's back in the day.
I had a bonus game I wanted to do, bonus trivia. I forgot which one I decided to do though. But Neil, help me remember. We did NFL Super Bowls, we did finals matches, we did NBA MVPs. All right, so I'm gonna do NFL MVP. So basically, the rules of the game is I'm going to give 20 seconds. I'm gonna give 20 seconds for each answer. I'll set a timer, and you can't use any phones or anything. But I'm gonna ask you like a trivia question. So the question is gonna sound like, who was the MVP for this season for the NFL? And you'll have 20 seconds to guess it. The goal is to have the first person who gets the 3 points wins. So 1 point per correct answer, 0 points for wrong answers.
Gotcha. NFL MVPs, that'll be hard.
I'm gonna say Peyton Manning done won like 20 of them.
Right. He's a safe pick.
Right, yeah. Peyton Manning every year.
Right. All right, so y'all ready? Y'all ready?
Yeah.
All right, so here we go. Let me set my timer. 20 seconds here. So my first question.
All the people who won one.
The first one is, who was the NFL's most valuable player for the year of 1993?
Dang. I wasn't even born yet.
Right. Was it multiple choice?
Who was nice back then?
You got 5 seconds.
I don't know. Give us an extra 15 seconds. I'm trying to see.
Right. Yeah.
I'm gonna say Dan Marino. I don't know.
Dan Marino in 93?
I don't know.
Damn. Who? Emmitt Smith? Shit.
All right, 5 seconds. Need an answer.
Oh, damn.
I'm gonna go with Dan. I don't know.
Dan Marino? All right, so Neil's going with Dan. You going with Emmitt?
It wasn't Emmitt. I know that.
So the 1993 most valuable player for the NFL
That's like going to do
was
2000s.
Emmitt Smith. Emmitt Smith was the winner of the
Oh,
MVP
wow.
that year.
Yo, guessed
yeah.
it though.
Let's go.
I think
I
that's
didn't know he was an
his only
MVP
MVP.
before. I didn't know
Hey,
Yeah,
that.
he had one
I was trying to
MVP.
think. I was trying to think. Some Cowboys was nice that them years.
Man, he had MVP that year, rushing title that year, Super Bowl MVP. Man, that's a stacked year right there. All
Yeah,
right,
hell yeah.
Wow.
so let me bring it back to a little bit more recent years, back to when we probably started watching football. Who was the most valuable player for the 2004 NFL season? You got 30 seconds starting.
Was he defensive player?
Oh,
Who?
2004.
Who? LT?
I'm gonna go with Peyton. I'm gonna go with Peyton.
He gonna go with Peyton. I'm gonna go with LT.
That's your answers? All right, so
Yeah.
you going with LT? All right, so the 2004 most valuable player for the NFL was indeed Peyton Manning.
You gotta go Peyton. He won 20 of them. You gotta
He
go
did.
Peyton.
He won like 20. God.
I think
I knew
LT
that
won in
too.
2006. I know that year.
I was about to say, he close. Peyton won it
Yeah,
like
Peyton's won it
the year
like
before or something like that. Yeah, he won like 3 years in a row or something like that.
yeah, he went on a tear when he had a whole bunch of MVPs before Tom Brady started eating them up.
Right.
All right. So we both tied at one here. You got Neil with one, Smoot with one. All right, let's go with the next year. More a little bit more recent. We're gonna go. The 2010 most valuable player was who?
2010.
Cam Newton. Was it? Yeah. Was it? No. Yeah. Cam?
2009.
Was it Cam?
I don't think it's key.
No.
I'm gonna go with
RG? RG3? Nah, it was Cam.
I'm gonna go with Tom Brady. 2010. That was a year he won. That was a year
Cam.
after.
Was that Cam? Was that yeah? Nah, Cam. Fuck it. Cam.
I'm gonna go with Tom.
So that's time. So you said Cam Newton for Smoot, Tom Brady for Neil.
Was Cam
So
11? Cam was 11.
2010 most valuable player for the NFL was Tom Brady with the New England Patriots the year. That was, I think, that wasn't the undefeated season, but
That was.
it wasn't. That was 2000 and something.
That was 2000. No. That was 2008.
Eight. Yeah, that's the one Giants one.
Yeah. It wasn't Cam. Cam just was a rookie that year, wasn't he? 2010.
Shit, I thought he went off that year, but man.
You thinking too
Cam
far back, buddy.
Cam been in the league for 10 years, so that was probably rookie.
Yeah. All right, so we got Neil with 2 points.
Already.
Neil with 2 points, Smoot with 1 point. All right,
Man.
So let me go a couple more years up. Let's go 2014. Most valuable player was who? 30 seconds right now.
14. Damn.
The thing about it is it's always quarterback, so I'm thinking.
Yeah, I see.
It's always quarterbacks who win. Who were in 2014?
10 seconds.
Aaron Rodgers.
You gonna say Aaron Rodgers?
I'm gonna say Aaron Rodgers. It's a quarterback. I'm just picking the best quarterbacks.
I'm just big Peyton.
All right, so we got a Peyton Manning and a Aaron Rodgers. So the 2014 most valuable player for the National Football League was
Aaron Rodgers.
Aaron Rodgers. Yep. I think that's the year he won a Super Bowl, didn't he? Or the year,
14?
one of those years, near or after. I think it was the year he only threw like 2 picks. I think that was the year he only threw like 2 picks and like 40 touchdowns.
Yep.
Everybody was like, "Oh, this man, Mr. Rogers." What is Stephen A call him? Stephen A.
Discount double
Yeah,
check.
the discount bet and that bad man, Rogers. All right, so Neil does win this round of trivia. This week we went with guess the most valuable player for NFL. All right, so I think Neil's won about like 3 of them. I think we done like 4. I think Neil's won like 3.
I be guessing though. That's the crazy part.
He got a phone out. I see
it. My man cheating.
he got to do this the whole time.
Check my pockets.
Man,
I'm on the phone. I'm on Zoom right now. I'm on my phone on Zoom. Like,
all right. So next week, we definitely gonna have a lot to talk about. Definitely see who we can get on the episode as well. But we're gonna be talking about, basically highlights from the games the night before. I know we got the Clippers and the Lakers. I forget the second matchup. I think it's the Pacers, the Pelicans and
the Jazz.
And the Jazz. So we're gonna be doing a recap of that. Also, just talk about anything that pops up, within, the headlines that week. I'm pretty sure we'll get something crazy. I didn't really feel like making a piece about AD retiring for the second time because, man.
Are you sure he's retiring? Because he called somebody out the next
NFL's
day.
not gonna let him play. The NFL ain't gonna let him play. He can sign all he want. They're gonna be like, nah, sit out a year, buddy.
He's gonna look like Alden Smith.
Man, I don't know how stupid you can be, but you can't wait like 12 hours. What was it? 24 hours for you to shut up and get your $30 million guaranteed.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Guaranteed.
Somebody told me this.
And then you can say whatever you want after that, bro. I don't care, bro. As long as that check clear and it hits my account, then I can say what I want. You couldn't shut up just for that.
I would have locked myself in a room for 24 hours.
Exactly. I don't know what's so bad. I mean, LA, come on. You can play for the Raiders. Come on. See? All these organizations, they got something to hide.
Oh, yeah. That's definitely something that I feel as though it's going to be popping up, with this Epstein case going on and everybody kind of going down for all of the dark secrets is coming to light. It's going to be a lot of more NFL teams. We had the Jets owner or president or somebody, quoted on saying some racial comments. So it's going to be a lot that comes to light, with everything going on in the world. This coronavirus is making us all realize it. I think, get a little bit more focus point on these issues that haven't been brought to light. Yeah, it's going to be new moving forward. It's going to be a lot of things brought forward, but I'm just going to wait and see. It's going to be a lot more disturbing things to come forward during this investigation with the Washington football team. So definitely interested to see about that. But yeah, man, I'm glad to have sports back. I'm gonna just say that. Just glad to have sports back.
Right.
The NFL's starting on track.
I'm watching the Rockets game now.
I'm about to go ahead, edit this stuff up and look at some basketball too. Man, I've just been on 2K for real. I've been hooked to my team. I'm so mad. I'm getting hip to that.
Man, I just got 2K. So
because it's free.
That yeah, because it was free, and I still don't like it.
But yeah, we're definitely gonna link back together next week to discuss those topics and everything. In the meantime, everybody stay safe. I know, it's summertime and we want to get out there, but everybody make sure you wear your mask, wash, stay safe so that we can continue to be healthy and have these meetings.
Sir.
All right. So I appreciate y'all. I appreciate y'all again for taking our time out for this episode. Friday evenings, it's not easy to give up, but I appreciate y'all giving up your time. We'll be back at it next week, hopefully, same time.
No problem, bro. See y'all.
All right, bros. Peace out.
Peace out, bro.